Hi everyone, you reached Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all of you out there, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Hit the like button, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And share my video with your friends and family so that they can come to my channel and get to know me also. I'm here today with a quick video on Jen Shah from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Jen Shah was charged back in March of 2021 by the feds, of wire fraud, being the ringleader of a telemarketing scheme. And the telemarketing scheme targeted one of the most vulnerable populations, and that is the elderly community. So she was charged back in March of 2021. They didn't show the arrest on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but they did pretty much show the aftermath. So they have been chronicalizing this on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City show. So she recently went to court, and initially she put in a plea of not guilty. But then something made her come to her senses, and then she changed her plea from not guilty to guilty, okay? And maybe what made her come to her senses is, one, when the feds come for you, they normally have an ironclad case against you with so much evidence that you will definitely have an uphill battle fighting your case against them. In addition to that, they had an ace in the hole. What was their ace in the hole? They had her right-hand man, her assistant, that pled guilty already and that was going to testify against her when she went up for her trial, right? And if she would have lost by a trial jury, she could have faced up to 30 years. Woo! 30 years in prison. And listen, my aunt used to say this. Actually, it was my great aunt. She used to say, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, right? And so Jen Shah is 48 years old. She's no spring chicken. So therefore, if you would do 48 at 30 years to that, you're talking she would be, 78? When she possibly got out of jail, if she went to trial and lost the case. So she rolled the dice, and I'm sure her lawyers spoke to her, and they was like, you know what? If you do a plea deal and you plead guilty, you can face up to maybe 14, 15 years versus doing 30 years. Why don't you just go ahead and do that? And that's what Jen Shah did. But before she took that plea deal, she was flaunting on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. She went on a couple of interviews and said she's going to fight this thing to the end because she's innocent. Well, she had a change of heart, right? She changed her mind because she pled guilty. Now, this 168 months was, like I said, it amounts to 14 years. There's a caveat to it, right? Because the judge still has the right to give her more than that 14 years, which is crazy. But part of her plea deal states that if she does get more than the 14 years, then she will appeal. But if she gets any time within that 168 months, she's just going to go ahead, do her time, and not appeal the case. So she put a little, disclaimer in there. Now, in addition to this sentence that she's going to get on November of this year, she has to pay back $9 million, people. $9 million to all of the victims. But then in addition to that $9 million, they're giving her a $6 million penalty or fine. So you're talking about even when she gets out of jail, she's coming out to not a bed of roses, people. She's coming out to a $15 million debt. Now, many people have asked, did her husband Sharif know anything about this? Was he part of this scheme? And even if his hands wasn't directly in it, he did benefit from the money that she stole from these victims, okay? He was living the high life with her. And, by default, so were the kids, okay? But the kids are just collateral damage. They didn't tell their mother to go defraud people. So the things that they got as a result of this stolen money is not their fault. But her husband, on the other hand, her husband of 27 years, Listen, 27 years with somebody, y'all grew up together, right? You really truly know that person. So he knew his wife. And okay, she says she's starting a business. Let's just say this is how the conversation worked. Like, honey, I'm going to start a business. And he's like, okay. He's not a stupid man. He went to college. He coached football and whatever else he did in his life. He's not a dummy, right? So anybody knows when you initially start a business, out the gate, that business is not raking in millions and millions of dollars, right? So they have the conversation, honey, I'm starting a business. And he's like, okay, good luck. Anything you need, I'm going to support you. And then next thing you know, she's rolling up with a Benz. And I'm just doing a little paraphrasing here, a little story in my head of how it went. She's rolling up with a Benz. And he's like, okay, wow, you started the business yesterday. It's doing well that quick that you got the Benz. Yeah, honey, I'm doing well. Do you want a Benz too? All right, I'll take a Benz. You got enough for 2 Benzes, one for me, one for you, sure. And next thing you know, they're living in a big house. You riding on jets. You're doing all this stuff. You don't have more questions for your mate? So, people, do I think that Sharif knew something? I'm going to say yes. I'm rolling with yes, he knew something and he just turned a blind eye to it because listen, for most people, once they start living a good life, they can't turn back. They don't know how to turn back. But my thing is, are you that greedy? Are you that greedy? I mean, Jen Shah is the epitome of American greed, right? Are you that greedy that you're going to steal from the elderly? And then you know what, not only just being greedy, you want fame. Then you know that you thieving and stealing. Then you're going to go on a television show. It's like you flaunted this whole thing in the Fed's face, right? You're going to go on a television show knowing that nothing you're doing is legit. And then you're going to flaunt it on TV. You was begging and asking to get caught and to get cleaned. Now, Jen Shah, I want to say the oldest son is probably in his 20s. I think the youngest son is around 19. So she's fortunate that she did get to see both of her children graduate from college. But now, even if she does 14 years, add 14 years on a 48, she'll be 62 when she gets out, right? And the kids are going to be good grown adults. She probably would have missed them getting married, missed seeing her first grandchildren be born. She messed up. This is ridiculous. But it's the price you pay when you want to just be straight greedy. So am I shocked that she pleaded guilty? Absolutely not. Do I think that Sharif knew a little something sooner than later? Did I think he just found out when they cleaned up? Absolutely not. Do I feel bad for Jen Shah? A smidgen, but not a whole lot. Who I really feel bad for is all of the people that she defrauded, okay? The elderly community, the people that worked their whole entire life and got their 401k, and she took all of their 401k, took all of their pension, and told them that she was gonna, make sure their money made more money for them. That's the people I'm more concerned about versus Jen Shah. So now she's used to living a high life. She's going to have a big wake up call. And even though I heard federal prison is much better than just going to, I guess, a jail or the average prison, but I still think that she is not going to be used to that particular lifestyle. Someone telling her when to get up, when to come, when to go, what to eat, how to sit. You can't have this hair product versus that hair product. I would love for somebody to interview Jen Shah now and say, baby girl, was it really worth it? In addition to that, she is still filming The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And many people are saying, but why? Why? Because she needs the money. In addition to that, though, Teresa Giudice, she filmed the whole time that she was going to court, got sentenced, and actually went to jail. And she came to the reunion right before she was going to jail. So, hey, why not Jen Shah? So listen, guys, when you get an opportunity, chat with me in the comments and I will chat back. And here are the questions of the day. The question is, do you think Sharif knew? And do you think that Sharif should stand by Jen Salt's side the entire time that she's in lockdown because he benefited off of this money also? And do you think while she is locked up and he is out free that he should be working to chip away at this $15 million bill that she owes? Okay, should Sharif have to give up some of this money? And did they seize all of this property and stuff? Did they seize the cars? Did they take the bags, the clothing, the jewelry? What's going on with that? But like I said, should Sharif be paying out this bill? Should he stand by her side the whole time that she is on lockdown? And do you think that he knew? Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see y'all in the next video.